right. Hey, welcome back, ladies, gents, and everybody in between to the Band of Misfits podcast, the showcase of controlled chaos we call our friendship. Welcome to episode 3. It has been a crazy ride so far, and it's great to be getting started in a nice, steady recording rhythm. So how is everybody doing tonight? Shut up, Wolf! Professionalism!
I just noticed Shiona was wearing a crown.
It didn't even faze me. Honestly,
I'm
I was
sorry.
like,
I just
okay.
By the way, guys, we're doing we're on Discord doing a video call, and Shiona has a very sparkly crown on his head, and I didn't notice because I was getting everything set up. I heard me say, "Okay, princess," but I didn't think anything about it.
Everyone is just their own very breed of.
Muse is laughing so hard she had to mute herself.
Oh my goodness! Okay. So this is an episode that's going to be pretty dear to me personally. We are going to be talking about our favorite music groups and how music in the mainstream has just evolved over time, basically. It's just going to be a fun little discussion. And as someone that is getting their bachelor's in music, I feel I'm almost overly qualified to be talking about this. All right. So first of all, I've got some ground rules written out for us. There's not going to be any judgments here. If you like Shania Twain or our queen, Dolly Parton.
Who's Shania Twain?
She's a pop country singer, and we will have to...
Stop laughing, Muse! Unmute yourself already!
Where was this reaction? Where was this reaction last week?
So, anyway, if you like our queen, Dolly Parton, like I do, of course, or if you really like rap or a particular rap artist, which is fine, there's not going to be any judgments or being like, you don't have any taste in music, because everybody's taste in music and cultural background is different. You know what I mean? And then we're going to give people time to speak.
She turned her camera off.
And we're going to give people time to speak, and we're also going to listen to moi whenever it's time to move on to a different group or a different person. And we're just going to be listing our top 3 each and then going off of the discussion from there.
Panda, you have to try and corral us right now. I lost it.
You know, I do my best to remain professional in these situations, but I swear...
I did too, and look how long that lasted.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I guess I will kick us off with my top 3 music groups. All right, first of all, I'm going to say my first one is going to be Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac. Number 2, this is a harder one for me because it's mostly based in nostalgia a little bit. I really like Alice in Chains, and I really enjoy Kehlani. I really like Kehlani. So those are going to be my top 3. And you guys might not know Kehlani because she's from kind of an alternative R&B scene. But I will talk about her till the cows come home. So let's get started with Fleetwood Mac. So what do you guys think about Fleetwood Mac? Do you guys listen to that kind of alternative music or that kind of like folky music at all?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Do you not know who Fleetwood Mac is?
No, I do.
I was going to
say, I know you live under a bit of a rock, but surely that rock isn't that.
Please tell me you know who Stevie Nicks is. I'm literally going to cry. Anyway, Stevie is honestly...
a blank look on her face.
No, I know.
Stevie is honestly one of the biggest reasons that I enjoy that type of softer rock, such folk music. And she's someone that I really admire, just for everything that she's been through, and her songwriting is phenomenal. And now Fleetwood Mac is a group, and I'm sure most of you already know this. Fleetwood Mac is the type of group that they kind of split off and do solo writing for the group, and sometimes they'll write together. But there's a lot of Fleetwood Mac songs that are specific to different members of Fleetwood Mac. For example, Go Your Own Way was written by Lindsey Buckingham, who is the lead guitarist of Fleetwood Mac. And he's written a couple others. I'm pretty sure he wrote The Chain, but I think he wrote that with Mac as well. With Mac, who is the lead. Not the lead. He's the drummer for Fleetwood Mac. And then Stevie wrote Rhiannon and Dreams, which is one of my just all-time favorite songs in general. I think that Dreams is one of those songs that's just peak songwriting. Honestly, there's lots of metaphors and allusions to other personal things that you don't really need to know Stevie to relate to your own life. And then you have Christine McVie. I think she's kind of an underrated songwriter for the group. Songbird is a beautiful, beautiful ballad that when you're just feeling really nostalgic and kind of in your feelings, is something you can go back to and listen. Do you guys have any points about Fleetwood Mac, or like if there's any songs that you like? Oh man,
I'm honestly trying to look up songs on my phone right now to figure out what song it is I like, because I just like random songs, not really particular artists, but I do have a few artists that I particularly like. So that's what I'm trying to desperately to do right now.
Maybe it is just as someone that writes a lot writes a lot of poetry and did a lot of songwriting when she was younger, and I don't really get to do that anymore, just because it's not my career goal and it's not something I study. But I do enjoy Fleetwood Mac songwriting, and especially Stevie's. Almost all of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs were at least co-written by Stevie. And I really like their music is unique in the way that like every song has kind of a different feel to it. You know, like there's a little bit of a different flavor to whatever songwriter you're getting on that particular song, and the kind of rhythm like look at The Chain compared to a Rhiannon. Rhiannon is a much more like mystic kind of what's the word? I don't want to say that because that's a slur. Hippie, hippie kind of feel. And then you have Lindsay's much more serious, harder rock writing. And if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you'll know The Chain, because that was the ending song.
They have the best songs in those movies.
Yes, really.
Best songs ever.
The 70s are some of the best music in general, so they had a really great catalog to choose from for those movies anyway. The 80s are a different close second, and I definitely think the 70s had some of the best songwriters, at least in mainstream music. And anything about overall artistry, I don't know, I really like Fleetwood Mac, their cover designs and their performing style. Stevie was a very much Stevie still is. I mean, she still makes music. That's another thing. Stevie Nicks still records and releases music that's successful. But when Fleetwood Mac was the group, she kind of made them come to life, and I really admire that. So next up, Alice in Chains for me. So do you guys know who Alice in Chains is? Do you know anything about grunge music? I know Nirvana, obviously.
I've heard about that type of music, but I've never really listened to it.
Yeah,
same.
Fair. And see, I was a bit of I was a grungy gal in high school. I always have been.
You were.
I've liked. Yes, and I still dress that way. It's something that I really enjoy alternative rock, and I enjoy hard rock. But grunge is kind of that midway point. It's like intelligent, like interesting songwriting, but it's also completely against the mainstream and all about being yourself. If you are familiar with the Riot Grrrl movement, which is a completely different thing, it's more related to punk, but grunge kind of intersects with it. That I wrote an entire paper about the Riot Grrrl movement, so I'm not going to get into that. But so Alice in Chains is a group led by, I believe, Lane Staley. Sam Staley, I believe is his name. Give me 1 second, and you guys chat up about what you know about grunge while I make sure I have this correct. Lead singer.
I will apologize in advance. I know none of I will probably know none of these people you're gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize as well.
That's fair. Lane, so he was led by Lane Staley. Unfortunately, he did pass away early as well. Just like Kurt Cobain, most people believe it was a drug overdose that most people believe was a suicide. And it was quite tragic in the grunge community because he was a very intelligent songwriter. A lot of his songs were anti-establishment and just interesting, what my old guitar teacher used to call intelligent grunge. Everything was very purposeful. All the chord progressions were very set out. And honestly, their guitar riffs and their bass writing, especially, I find to be better than Nirvana. I prefer them to Nirvana. Not that I don't like Nirvana, but I don't know. Alice in Chains is one of the first like grunge CDs my mom let me buy, so there's some nostalgia there. I remember getting in the car and putting Dirt. Dirt is, I believe, their second album. I could be wrong. Don't roast me in the discussions if you have one about this podcast. If I'm wrong, okay. But I remember putting it on in the car. My mom was like, "Sure, let me listen to this," and my mom was like, "Oh my god, this is like some demon music." She obviously didn't actually say that, and my mom's very supportive in my taste in music, and I love her very much. But it's just not her type of music. Anyway, so I really enjoy their songwriting style, and I think Willem Duvel has done a pretty good job of taking over for Lane since his passing. And I like some of their new music, but it doesn't hit the same way for me that Lane's writing did. So I'm mostly talking about old Alice in Chains. I really enjoy, grunge is one of those genres where everything kind of sounds similar, but I do think that Alice in Chains stands out a bit, like I said, and they're more purposeful chord progression. They're more purposeful lyrics, even though Nirvana was also really smart with their lyric writing. I mean, Kurt Cobain was a genius lyricist, and no discredit to him whatsoever. But I personally prefer this type of lyricism. 1 second, y'all, my computer is dying. And of course, as far as their aesthetic, it's that dark aesthetic that I really liked as a teenager. Okay,
Y'all can't see the camera, but Panda just watching Panda scramble for the charge cable.
Listen, this is professional. Very professional. All right.
I know we're supposed to be audio friendly. I'm doing a description.
Oh man. Okay. Anyway, I really like their aesthetic. I like that alternative rock aesthetic. I still dress that way, and maybe it's just by virtue of being someone that looks like they came off a conveyor belt in a factory that makes bisexuals. But but yeah, that's Alice in Chains for me. And then my last one, Kehlani, and you guys, I know you don't really listen to those type of music, so it's a personal thing. Kehlani is an R&B songwriter. She was originally on, what was it? I want to say America's Got Talent years and years ago. This was ages ago that she was on there with a group that I can't remember the name of, but she left them not long after America's Got Talent ended, and she is a solo artist now, very successful solo artist. Of course, she might not be mainstream, but she's very successful in her sphere. So I love her voice, first of all. Will we get copyright claimed if I play a song right now?
Yes.
Okay. Dang it. Yep. Well, anyway, she's got this.
It, but you cannot.
I'm not going to sing on this podcast, okay? I'm not warmed up. My chops are not there. I haven't taken a voice lesson.
Oh, you just got fired up. She unmuted herself.
Okay. You are like the best singer I know so far. That is a bunch of bull crap.
I appreciate it, but listen, just because you're good naturally doesn't mean that you don't need to warm up and you don't need to take lessons. So, you think Lea Salonga got that good without taking lessons? Let's be real. So, you don't get technique that good without taking lessons and practicing at least.
Okay, you sound good even without warming up.
I appreciate that, but I don't think I will be singing right now because I prefer to sing this type of music with my guitar. Thank you, but like I said, I haven't taken a voice lesson in like 4 or 5 years now, so I'm a little rusty. I play the violin. It's just a personal anecdote. I'm an instrumentalist first and foremost. Anyway, she is a queer woman. She openly writes about, she's pansexual, which you never really see people that are openly pansexual in mainstream music. And it's something that works. Give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So I really enjoy that she's completely open with her sexuality. She writes about both women and men in her songwriting. And she's also she writes about just the most like blatant. Sometimes she does write about blatantly sexual things. Okay, that's just the nature of R&B, but I think she does it in a tasteful and respectful way, and she's got a very beautiful, like, just soft voice. On top of that, she's not a belter. What's up? What's up?
Can you send me the information about her later? Because now I'm very interested.
Yes, and yes, for those of you that don't know who Kehlani is, she's very attractive. So that definitely doesn't have anything to why I like her. I promise. But anyway, her new album, It Was Good Until It Wasn't, I really enjoyed, and I'm sure many of you that are fans of R&B know of and are fans of the songwriting on that album, because she mixes through piano and her production is beautiful on it. She did a phenomenal job, and she had some great from a rapper named Lexi who just passed away not that long ago. She was friends with. She included one of her I'm not sure if it was a freestyle or if it was something that she had written out for specifically for the album before she passed, but it's a really nice tribute to other artists. And she also briefly includes Megan Thee Stallion, who honestly I love. I love Megan Thee Stallion. All right. I think she's bold, and I really appreciate a woman that's not afraid to just be open about enjoying sex and who she is, including that in personality. But anyway, as far as Kehlani's music uniqueness, I really think that she has her completely unique vibe to almost anything we see in modern R&B. She's not afraid to use just a little bit of distortion and a little bit of just different triple meters and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I don't really hear much. She's got that kind of Jhené Aiko vibe to her where she's just completely in her own skin and tries not to be influenced by other people, and I really admire that. And as far as her artistry and her aesthetic, I think she's got a really unique look. Obviously, like I said, I find her very attractive. Maybe that's not everybody, but I think most
we had a feeling that was going to be a part of the reason why you liked her.
Listen, I promise you, just because somebody is good looking, that doesn't mean that I like them. There are plenty of people I find attractive in music that I don't enjoy their music. So, for example, I actually think that, who is it? I actually think Taylor Swift is very pretty, but I don't enjoy much of her music, to be honest. At least much of her modern music. Although Folklore was pretty good, actually. But anyway, but yes, Kehlani is also one of my favorites. So, what about you guys?
Okay, did anybody else just feel like we got showed up by like 50% and we'll definitely not be able to do as good of a job?
Yeah, probably.
Holy crap, I'm gonna do so bad.
Yeah, I decided to do that.
Muse is doing, what is it, Sudoku?
I'm sorry. This is really an area that I enjoy talking about, so I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
So much. No, that's what we're doing.
No, that is fair. Yeah.
All right.
Who else is prepared for their top 3? Neither one of you? Are you? Wolf?
I feel like we're doing presentations in class. And the top 3. I feel like we're doing presentations in class, and the principals came in and did theirs first, and now everybody else has to go after.
That sounds reasonable.
The rest of us are just sitting there like, man, we ain't gonna do that good of a job. Listen,
this is what my baccalaureate degree is in, so don't feel too bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, mine's not in that.
No, yours is in dead bodies.
Yeah. Mine is in forensics anthropology, to be technical, but yes. For explanations in dead human remains.
I mean, okay, to be fair, that would happen if, like, any of us want to do, like, everything. We were talking about all, like, our top 3 favorite artists and Amusement Forced. Same thing. If we talked about favorite, if we talked about, like, favorite anime, if we talk about, like, favorite anime or animation series, and I went Forced, same thing.
Excuse me, Me too. Who
No
wants to
excuse.
drag Muse into Fire Force?
I still hate you too. I still hate you too.
No, you don't. The fact that you let us drag you into another show is testament to how much you don't hate us.
I mean, I added like 12 different shows to the whole list already.
You have no
Alright,
idea.
Let's wait until she starts getting through them so I can add even more. Anyway,
Alright,
we probably got to get
go
back
ahead,
on
Wolf.
topic.
Yes,
Okay,
Wolf.
so what were we talking about again?
Talking about our
Top
three
three
favorite artists
favorite
and why
Short attention
and why
span,
we think
my
they're
bad.
good.
Short attention span. Whoops. Anyway, okay, so I want to say my first favorite is Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. Views, yes! I knew you'd get excited about that one. Brendan Urie is such a lovable person, and he's stuck with Panic at the Disco. Literally, he was, I believe, the last person to join the band, and he was very young when he joined. He was what, in high school?
I want to say.
Yeah, I wanted to say he was like literally like 18 or something. He was really young. You're Googling it, aren't you? Mrs. Googling it.
I definitely didn't already have it up.
Oh, I know you did. Just look. You and I have similar taste in music, so I'm not surprised that you did.
If I can be frank, my brother does not like Brendan Urie whatsoever.
No, you're right. He's such like a supportive dude. He's like pro a ton of
He finds
stuff.
him to be, from what he's heard, he's very cocky behind the scenes, and that's why most of the members of Panic at the Disco left Panic at the Disco.
No, most of those members of Panic at the Disco left because they didn't believe Panic at the Disco would ever amount to anything. That is why they left. They made up excuses about it being because of him. But it was really because, and this was admitted by them later on, it was really because they didn't think it was going to amount to anything, and because they just didn't really care to do it anymore. They wanted to get a quote-unquote real job with their life.
You know what? And I will say that I think he's a very, very talented. I have no arguments there. Very talented.
Oh, he was actually originally not picked as to be the lead vocalist. He was trying out to be the lead guitarist because they were trying to find a replacement for him. He was taking guitar classes offered in his high school, and then Wilson asked him try out. And during a practice, they heard his vocals, and in 2005 was the first release of him being a lead singer.
Yeah, because that man has a vocal range. Holy hell.
Yeah. Well, it's grown. When he first started off, it wasn't as strong as to now. He's really grown, branched out.
Hell yeah, he is. He's in kinky boots.
No. I will say that he's obviously not at the vocal range level of Freddie Mercury, but really who is at that vocal range level, to be honest?
Yeah, no one is at that vocal range.
Freddie Mercury is a god in vocal technique, honestly. You can't get much better than him or Lea Salonga. So anyway, continue, Wolf. I apologize. There you
go. Yeah, so I think he's just a really cool guy. I love his vocals and stuff. And I love that out of all the original members, not only was he added on late, but he's the only one that actually stuck with the band because the other ones were all buttheads that left. Because they wanted real jobs, quote-unquote real jobs, or they didn't feel like Panic at the Disco would really amount to anything, which is absolute bull, considering when you look at it now, and it's huge. I bet they're regretting it now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what's your favorite song?
What's your favorite disco song?
You're asking me something so hard.
Exactly.
Oh, let me look on my phone to find out what the most played song of theirs I have on is.
I like Girls, Girls, Boys. And I write Sins, Not Tragedies, obviously. I think everybody likes that song.
Yeah. I like the song Nicotine. And, of course, my personal opinion, I think it's better than the original, Into the Unknown.
I still haven't heard this.
What?
I still haven't.
Some of us have not seen Frozen 2, okay?
Some of us are pathetic in our lives and haven't seen Frozen 2. Calm your... I can't say it. Are we trying... is this a PG-13 podcast? This is the PG-13, right?
PG.
PG.
Trying to keep as PG as possible.
PG. Okay, well, calm your...
The stream is PG-13.
I can make gestures because I'm not recording the screen, but I will make gestures. I would have to say it would probably be... God, probably House of Memories. I just that or Saturday Night is good as well. Oh, and Emperor's New Clothes. How can you make me pick one? I hate you. I can't just pick one.
You love me.
Yeah, I do. But
What about
why?
So, what's another one of your favorites, Wolf?
Another one of my favorite artists would probably be Fall Out Boys.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't dislike Fall Out Boy. I want to say I don't dislike, but Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy was never music I was really into. I was too much of an artsy, old school teenager to ever get into them when I was.
I like whatever gets my blood pumping. So whatever makes me excited and whatever I can daydream to. And Fall Out Boy's song "Church," my favorite, absolute favorite. They're so good, and they're down to earth people. Their lead singer is really cool.
Yeah, they seem like nice enough guys for sure. I don't know much about them personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're okay. Like for me, Panic is above them, but they are still really good. Well, who's your third?
That's why I listed them.
Fair. When I was in high school, the type of rock that I liked was like Black Sabbath and like Guns N' Roses, and I like a lot of that.
AC/DC?
AC/DC not quite as much as Guns N' Roses, but I do like Def Leppard a little bit more as well. I like old style heavy rock and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Grunge, R&B, oddly enough, but so. This is really a topic for Muse and Wolf, because this is not the type of music, emo. Like,
I'll say Muse and I have very similar tastes in music. Actually, we suggest artists to each other.
Ironically, though, I also have a lot of similar taste to you, Panda, as well.
Yeah.
I have like a huge palette from like the 1920s up to the present, like
absolutely.
all genres.
And, you know me, I'm everything from. I do like other like cultures of music. I think it's worth saying that there are other cultures whose music, like old style. I feel like Western classical music is something you're trained in as a violinist, but it's not something that you're always the most interested in. So when you hear more Eastern music or African drum beating or things like that, it's stuff I really like. So I think it's important to acknowledge that this is all from a very Western perspective that we're coming from.
Yeah. Hence why my next artist is not really a classic like people wouldn't say because it's EDM. I guess people always put up an argument about this. He's not a classic artist. Blah blah blah. Hello, shut up. I like him. Well, I like his music. Marshmallow.
Really?
Yes, I like, some of the songs I do not like. Some of them are more on the rap side. I really don't care for rap. But some of them are I don't know, they get me pumped up.
That's fair. So. I like some of his. I'm not too big of a Marshmallow fan. I don't dislike EDM music. I think that I do think that sometimes sampled and pre-produced music, and I think a lot of that is because of, if we're talking about race relations right now a little bit, pre-sampled and looped and repurposed music is often looked down upon, mostly because in Black culture, especially in early rap, that was a lot of the stuff that they used. So there is a cultural thing there about why people like that kind of music. So I think it's important to acknowledge that is music and artistry on it.
Which is why I chose it. I was like, I know a lot of people are probably going to argue with me about it and be like,
no, not at all. I don't.
But not you guys. I mean, our viewers in the future.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, I do think that there is a little bit of a, and I do think that white artists have a little bit of an easier time breaking into EDM and kinds of. But I think it's a cool genre, and I think it's an interesting perspective to talk about how pre-samples and that kind of stuff is unique in artistry in its own right as well.
Yeah, not to mention if done right, it sounds really good.
Really cool. Yeah. It's definitely a niche skill that I will never have. So
who knows, maybe one day we'll release Band of Misfits EDM.
Oh my God. Work on that. Oh man. Okay.
We got to take one step at a time. We're doing a podcast.
One step at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, one step at a time. We're doing a
Muse,
podcast.
You look like very concerned.
I think I heard something a little different.
Please don't say it.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Put it in the chat.
Type it in the chat.
Type it in the text channel.
Hold on.
Oh. I'm scared to read those right now.
I have a feeling I know what. I have a feeling I know what you hold.
Let's
go to the text.
You better not. I have a bad feeling too.
It's kind of easy. It's kind of easy to know what she holds.
I mean, I have a feeling.
I don't know how to spell it.
Oh, Muse. Also, if you want, we can play Stardew for a little bit afterwards. Because now I'm actually awake. So.
Yes, that.
What do you mean you don't know how to spell it? It's literally just letter Muse. It's
no, I couldn't think. No, like I had it in my head, but I couldn't think of what am I trying to say?
This is a PG podcast.
Why do you think I wasn't saying it?
Which is why it's typed. No, I am not. Okay, viewers, this is when we remain audio friendly, and I don't tell you what she just typed. Because we have a strict PG. We're trying to keep it PG, and that is not PG.
Yeah. All right, Muse. I guess it's your turn. Do you want to talk any more about your favorite groups, or?
Wolf, are you good? Or
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I didn't go on the rant. I feel like Panda did. But I did my best.
I don't think anyone's. I don't think anyone's going to get to that level.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You have to, be a nerd in that area, I think, to understand all of that.
Okay, again, each of us has our own little category that we specialize in.
Yeah. Right, Muse.
Okay, well, one of my groups was Panic at the Disco, but I'm going to change it.
I feel like you're allowed to say the same group. This isn't a debate. This is a...
No, I know. But since we've already talked about that one, I'm going to name another of my favorite artists.
Just let it be known that she did choose Panic at the Disco for the first one.
Oh my god.
What's your favorite song?
Also,
what's your favorite song?
Again,
Disco?
Like I said, it has to be either Nicotine or Into the Unknown, but you all don't know that one.
I've heard the song before.
I've heard it.
I think everyone's heard the song before. It's like Let It Go. Like, even if you hadn't seen Frozen, you'd heard the song before.
Yeah, no, it is so good, and it shows how strong his vocals are in that one. Like, in the very beginning, he shows that he can do the song just to prove, don't doubt me, which I find very powerful. But going away from that, because I want to do other ones.
Away from fangirling over Brendan Urie.
Okay, he's hot. I'm sorry.
Dude.
He is adorable.
But teach their own.
I think he's so hot. He's adorable.
Okay. One of my favorite groups that I love listening to, sorry to y'all that are not country fans, Home Free.
Home Free. I've never heard them before, actually.
Oh my god. Okay. If y'all know Pentatonics, They're like them. There are 5 vocalists.
Oh, yeah. I've heard them.
Yeah, there are 5 vocalists that are a cappella. The group actually has been around for over 10 years, I want to say, and only one of them is still with it, who was one of the original founders, Adam Roop. He's the beatboxer of the group, and oh my God, he's like the best beatboxer I've heard in a long time. He specializes in drums, and surprisingly, he actually taught himself how to play drums first. And so, because he only learned beatboxing and when he first started off doing home free, so he didn't like start off at a young age. He taught himself within a couple years. Yeah, but he taught himself how to play drums. So when he did beatbox drums and when he performed, he did it in the motion of like if he played the bass, he had the like kick bass, he would do the kick effect. If he was playing the cymbal, he would hit it as if he was playing it. So he taught himself how to do the hand motion stage, which I find really cool. And one of my favorite reasons why I love Home Free is their bass.
I was going to say, they have a really talented bass singer.
Oh my God. Out of like a cappella groups that I've listened to, there's like Voice Play, Pentatonix, Home Free that I listen. Their bass, who is Tim Faust, he has the biggest range I've heard. He goes from a G0, which isn't like off the piano, 2 octaves down, a G0 to A5.
Wow, that's very impressive.
He's not human. He is not human.
That's very impressive.
He's broken a sound system.
That's cool.
Which I love.
I really enjoy a cappella. I think it's an incredible feat of vocal agility, listening to what the human voice can do. And if you, I really like Citizen Queen, just to add to favorite
we could do an
acapella
groups. If some of us were actually musical.
Oh no! You do not want to hear.
And if
you do not want to hear this voice sing. Trust me. Oh, you have.
You don't
no
want to
mind.
hear this voice sing.
I've heard both of you.
Myself that I'm bad.
So Citizen Queen's an all-female a cappella group. It was started by Scott Hoying of Pentatonix, if you're not familiar with the group. And I think it's really impressive that Cora Isabel, who's their beatboxer, has such a wide and deep range. Girl, it's much more. It's so for those of you that aren't really familiar with the mechanics of beatboxing, it's much harder for women, especially that are in the soprano range. Of course, I'm kind of an alto, which is a bit of an anomaly for a small person, but here we are. Cora Isabel has a very excellent range. For women, tend to have much thinner vocal cords than men, and also just their throat chambers and all of that. There's not as much depth, so it's harder for them to learn to beatbox, just physically. And there are trans men that have this problem, but if you're on T, it's a lot easier to learn to beatbox than someone who's than someone who it just has. What's the word? Or trans women, I don't know all the mechanics of it if you're on certain hormones, but that would be an interesting topic to write a paper about, the differences between beatboxers who are trans. I'm sorry. Now I'm just thinking about voice science.
Yeah, what was that about being on topic?
I apologize. Listen, I find beatboxers fascinating. Okay, cut me a break. And obviously, it's not possible for women to learn. I'm just saying that because of just the physical differences sometimes between trans men and some non-binary folks that have more feminine voice boxes and that kind of stuff, it can be harder. So that's just impressive to me. All right, moving on.
Yeah. I'm going quickly.
More on track.
Yes.
Yeah. Last thing with Home Free, my favorite song so far they've done is Hillbilly Bone. It is such it's kind of like a rock feeling to it, but with a country twist. So I really like the feel to it, especially, again, Tim, who's the bass, gives it like the big oomph to it. And yeah, and I also like Mayday and Elvira, and Do You Know What I Hear?
Are we
Yeah.
talking about the
Oak
actress
Ridge
from
Boys. No, they did the song
That's all I-
Elvira with the Oak Ridge Boys, which is like the original, where it's like they were the first country a cappella in a sense. Like they're the old version of Home Free. So, and they did
cool.
it is such a good video. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich. My stomach won't stop growling. It's the man food. It's the man food.
I promise you, I'm not going to be done.
Also, I'm gonna go make a sandwich, get myself a drink. I'm gonna come back and you'll still be going on about them. So I'll be right back.
Okay, going with my second group, so I get off them, is Linkin Park. They, back in high school, I would listen to them all the time because their songs are very relatable.
Fair.
Like the song Numb. That one, it's like most of their songs was related around depression or anxiety or trying to find yourself. What's that one song? Where are you? I definitely don't have them brought up as well. What is it? Waiting for the End is one of their really good songs.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I'm trying to find this one.
Have just left the building. For those of you.
Yeah. Oh, One More Light. That one really hit home. Just because going down like a darker path. That one I related it to where it's like where you feel alone and feel like no one would care if you are gone, like permanently gone from the world.
Yeah.
And so to have that where they sing, where flickers, who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. That line really hit home with me because it's like, for me personally, I feel like no one would care. And then, but hearing that line, it's like, I know someone does. So like all their songs helped me out because I could relate to them. Like those songs are very relatable and there's a story behind them, which I love.
I can understand that. Yeah. Especially as someone who also has a very close relationship with suicide. I can see why that would be appealing. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful. And like that's one of the things I love with the music groups that I really like is if the song has like a story behind it, if it's just not like random nonsense where it's I like a truck or I like this girl and she won't be with me. It's like, oh, okay, that's about most songs nowadays. But if there's a story behind it or there is a theme or a message behind it, then that attracts my attention more to that artist and to the song.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Right. And then my last group, person, oh boy, is Eminem.
You know what? Eminem gets a lot of hate, but you can't deny that the skill is there.
Oh
the skill is there. He's a very talented rapper. And he crossed a lot of lines back in his day, but I think a lot of that was just anti.
Oh, I can name one of the songs that got him a lot of hate. Message needed to be out. His song Darkness.
Yeah.
That one got a lot of hate when he came out with that one. I don't know if I'm allowed to go into detail with that one just because of what it's based around. Should I just go generic?
Aware of the context of the song, so I would just be cautious because I really can't give a full perspective on it. So
the song is based around the mindset of like during these last few years we've had like this is a topic that's really going on nowadays, but not to the what happened in the past where it's shootings.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I know this.
And the song was based around the Las Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the song is in the mindset of the guy himself, like talking about like it was talking like how he got the guns, how he got away with having an arsenal where just because he didn't have a crime record, and like not going into further into that, Eminem did a trick where he took one thing and made where it had two meanings, like I took a couple shots. He took vodka shots in the video, but it also showed casings. And that's how a lot of his songs are. There's double meaning behind his lyrics with it. So he's very, very talented in that aspect. And also, one of the things I find interesting with rappers is that they tend to diss each other, and it's like they'll create songs that go at another rapper. The cool thing with Eminem is he goes against himself so others can't hit him, because it's like, I already took away your ammo.
Yeah, it's true. And he acknowledges the mommy issue. So I do have some respect for that. And I will say that Eminem diss tracks are always like, wow, I feel like I need to dig a grave for this person. If y'all haven't heard his Machine Gun Kelly diss track, it's something else.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I was like, wow. Because I have very mixed, because if you guys don't know, a couple of years back now, Machine Gun Kelly did a song called Rap Devil, which was like a diss track basically to Eminem, because it was based on Rap God, which is it's one of those songs where it's like, as a queer person, I do have mixed feelings about his use of the F slur sometimes. But it's one of those things where I don't know. I appreciate that he doesn't cross into even worse lines. So sometimes some of his choices bug me a little bit. But I'm definitely not going to deny his artistry, and definitely not going to deny his songwriting.
Who are we talking about? I'm back.
Eminem.
Yeah,
he's my last favorite.
He has good songwriting. He makes very you can feel emotionally songs, like emotionally.
Oh yeah.
Impacting song.
Yeah, like one of my favorite songs of his is actually Mockingbird.
That's a good song.
Yeah, because like that used alongside that used to be my favorite like childhood rhyme, like lullaby. I don't know if you guys know that one. Like Mama buys you a diamond ring, hush little baby, don't you cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the song actually has part of that lullaby in it, which is really cool. And I don't know, like going back with songs that have stories and meaning behind it. All of his songs actually, for the most part, have a story behind it. If you
have you ever heard of an artist called NF?
Mm-hmm.
That's like him. His songs they've always got that emotional impact behind it. I almost said him as one of my favorite artists.
He's there's no denying. I do like that kind of skit song album structure where there's like a continuing story. I know Janelle Monáe, and she's done that visual album, continuous, based around a story. Dirty Computer, if you haven't watched Dirty Computer, I think it's one of those things that you need to watch all the way through, because it is art in motion. So I definitely understand why that's feeling. Yeah. Excuse me, they. Janelle Monáe is non-binary, they, them. Correcting myself there. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, those are my favorites.
Okay, so I was right. We were still on your favorites. Okay.
Shiota.
Okay, so while you two were talking, I've been scanning the internet trying to figure out, because like, okay, usually on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, okay? Because my taste in music is very J-pop. Okay.
Oh, that's what you meant. I was
you
like,
mean
You don't not
the
get that
Eastern?
metaphor
You
you
mean
just
like
did?
Eastern, like not the East versus West Coast of the U.S. You mean like?
yeah, I was like,
East-
wait, we
we're
all live
on
in
the
the
East
same
Coast.
state.
What are you talking
Honeys.
about?
Honeys, it was a metaphor. Did you not get that was a metaphor?
Yes, I
If
got
I'm
it.
the
I
only
was
one
just
that
very
got
confused for a
it.
moment.
Shiota, I got your back. Don't worry.
Okay, Shiota.
I got you.
But yeah, let's talk about
Li-
J-pop
like,
and K-pop. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
like okay, not surprisingly, not K-pop,
Really?
but just J-pop.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, like I
No offense to
kind of
K-pop or anything, guys, but I don't think any of us really care about it.
like I kind of dabble in K-pop, but not as much as J-pop. Which for a Korean you would think, but no.
That's fair. Just because you're Korean doesn't mean you have to like K-pop.
I mean, like, there's
it's not
only
like a
like
rule.
Yeah.
there's only
Dude, I was born in Texas before moving here when I was like 2 years old. I hate country.
Yeah.
I really don't like country music.
but like I'm
Yeah.
of
I
I'm
just don't
of
like it.
the
Wait. Yeah.
I'm of the belief that everyone in the LGBT spectrum or just anyone in general has to have a boy band phase.
I would believe that.
Like for me, it
Luckily,
was
we do not have a boy band phase, folks.
I had a boy band phase.
I had a
Same.
boy
I do
band.
not.
Damn.
Nope.
Then you are breaking my rule. Anyways,
I am a rule breaker. That is my purpose in life.
Okay.
like I just recently, my top three aren't in any particular order. It's just the order that I found them in. The first one I found was a group called Strawberry Prince, which is it's kind of like Glee where they like cover like previously released songs, just for like a bit of a spin on them. And like I've noticed while I was scanning through the internet, I like very like not stereotypical, but like very like happy go lucky J-pop songs. It's like I don't know much about its history or whatever, but like I have like not even a few songs. Like I'd say a good maybe 20-ish songs of them. I'm just going to my playlist on Spotify to look at all these and like they seem to be pretty active. Like the most recent song came out like 2 weeks ago, give or take.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's very
like
active.
yeah. Then wait, shit. Again, I've been scouring the internet trying to figure people out. So that's one, and the other one is I wouldn't say it's a music group, but it is a I wouldn't say it was a music group, but it is an anime. Again, I am such a nerd. An anime that's based around music.
Okay.
Is this the one you showed me?
Karen Tuesday?
Yeah.
No, but that's also a good one. I'm not lying. It was really good. I'm not gonna say anything, but like the final song in that series is so good. It's like 7 minutes long and it's still so good. Where was it? Storm You. That's it. Like there was okay. Hang on. On my iTunes I've downloaded illegally.
Quote unquote.
All of them, and I have like 99 songs. 99 songs from them. It's like 6 hours and like 33 minutes. Like it. So that is one of them that I really like. Again, like most of the songs I like are very like happy go lucky, cheery. They give me like happy. They give me in like a happy mood or something.
Mm-hmm.
Another thought I couldn't find it, but I will say I will just put this as my official thought because I can't find it is Shaw and Tuesday actually because I will like it's the only English speaking artist music group that I actually have in my top three. I
Okay.
would like I'm don't want to say anything that's spoilerish because I want you to watch this. Uh, but it's a Netflix original anime series. It has like it's kind of like tech like some most of the songs are kind of techno-ish, but then there's the other side of it is very like wholesome and like music that comes from the heart kind of
Mm-hmm.
trope.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not as prepared. Okay,
It's okay.
like going back to the analogy of the principal's daughter coming in and like just showing everyone up. Like I am not gonna be as impressive.
It's
I don't think she's
Yeah.
okay. You're not. It's all right. And I think it's really it's a good opportunity to discuss Eastern pop music, especially
Mm-hmm.
and what's the word? Just especially in that area of Asia, it's really interesting pop culture dynamic. I don't know much about J-pop culture and J-pop groups, but from what I know about K-pop, the culture, especially for women, is very toxic. Um, it's just, and of course, this is only K-pop specifically. Obviously, South Korea in general is very obsessed, is very focused on physical appearance. They
No, yeah,
if I
I
remember,
know
I
it.
don't know any exact numbers. I can't remember exact numbers. But I do know that they have the highest rate of plastic surgery. I
That's
think
just sad.
in the developed world, um, developed is well, I shouldn't say developed, because that's kind of a anyway, kind of a
I
thing.
would like to point
I'll
out to
think of
people,
that.
unless you have a something physically like a physical deformity or something that you're incredibly insecure about to the point where it's causing you crippling anxiety or depression over the fact.
Yeah,
I don't think people should be doing plastic surgery.
I think it's one of those things where I really think it's that people should do what they want. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to
Yeah,
judge
but they're
people for
gonna
getting
abuse it,
plastic
and then
surgery.
you get the stars that
I
have
think that
like
there
the
should be an age limit
buffoon
for plastic
lips and
surgery.
the basketball sized butts and chests.
I think of,
I'm just
but
like,
not even that.
seriously?
I do think that like we could use, but if I'm deviating away from Eastern pop music culture for a second, Tana Mojo is a great example of someone who like got a lot of plastic surgery very young and who looks much older than she is in reality now. If you
Yeah,
guys are
plastic surgery
familiar,
ages you guys.
Tana
Like,
Mojo is
seriously.
21. For those of
Which is
you
which is
that are,
ironic when you think
Yeah,
of
and she
it.
looks really old.
yeah, she looks like she's at least 28.
And meanwhile,
So
you look at us, and funny story. You look at
we
us,
all
and
look like babies.
we all look like babies. Funny story.
We're in our
Went
early 20s.
into
So
a Walmart once with my dad because he had to get something, and I needed to get a game. I was getting Red Dead 2 for Xbox, and went to the counter, went to get it. I don't remember if I told you all this. Guy's like, okay, is there an adult around? He's like, where's your dad? I saw you with your dad. I was like, why do you need my dad? And he was like, because this is rated M, 17 up. You need an adult to verify this. And I just looked him dead in the eye and I went, I'm 21. And that man, his face went red so fast. His two coworkers behind him just cracked up. They were almost on the ground in laughter, and he was like stammering out. He was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He just looks so young. Oh my, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm 21.
Poor
You
guy.
want to see my ID? He was like, yes.
Yeah.
He saw my ID and he put it on the desk and he literally just face palmed and just sat there a minute. He was like, I am so sorry. His coworkers were like, we're never letting you forget this dude. I was like, it's okay, I get it. I look really young. Thank you for the compliment. But
anyway, going back to the topic of Eastern pop music and its culture. So a personal, well, not really a personal anecdote, but a friend's personal anecdote. So I have a very dear friend, Danny, and she is Filipina, so she really loves K-pop. She loves K-pop. I think she likes Red Velvet, and what else does she like? I can't remember. I haven't seen her in a while. But anyway, when she was young, she almost got into a K-pop girl group. From what I know, it's a very strenuous audition process. They go to specific schools when they're young to be trained as K-pop stars. They are chosen to be put in, and they have to be under a certain weight. If I remember right, I think it's 115 pounds, which is how much I weigh. For context, I'm 5 feet tall, and I'm not overweight or anything, but I am I'm a little bit thicker than the average bean, and I can't imagine being 5'5" and having weighed that much, and especially if it's not a natural body. And there's a lot of body image issues in Korea because of K-pop music culture, from what I know. And also there's some issues with racism in K-pop music as well. But I know that Hwasa, who is a member of Mamamoo, has said the N-word, and I know Mamamoo at some point did blackface in a music video. And so it's like, what was it? It was a Bruno Mars. They were doing Treasure. I can't remember. It was a Bruno Mars song.
Treasure?
It was question mark. And I know that they released an apology for it, and they didn't understand it necessarily. But I do think that as we branch, like that, there is a reason that we. It's interesting to think about it.
Unfortunately, where that whole cultural divide goes into play.
That's another thing. True.
They get bashed over something that isn't really a cultural problem in their area.
I think a lot of it is just because and obviously I have liked some of Mamamoo's music in the past. So, and I obviously when I found out about that, I'll be honest, I was quite turned off after that. Of course, I am a white person. I can't speak about how certain actions make people of color feel and what it should mean to them. So I'm not going to really comment on it. It's not really my place to say, but I will say that I find K-pop and that kind of culture and the music style very interesting. So I'm glad you brought that up, Shioda, because I feel like we're always so focused on Western pop music that we forget how much Eastern pop music is making a comeback in the Western sphere.
I mean, there is obviously BTS, which is
BTS, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Did one of those guys die or something?
No, I don't think so. They were just at the VMAs.
Okay, let's try not to enrage the BTS. Fan page.
I saw an article headline or something about.
I don't think that any of them. I hope not. I hope none of them have.
I don't know if it was for their group or another group. I don't know who the members are.
I feel like I would have heard it if BTS a member of BTS had died. I feel like it would have been.
I'm pretty sure, it would have been everywhere, which is always like, I don't know if this is what happened. I don't know.
I doubt it. It was probably a different K-pop group, but still very sad. And I really hope. They're very talented. They're very talented fellows. Very talented. Excellent dancers. The harmonies are there, so I definitely understand why people enjoy them. It's not typically my kind of music. That kind of really upbeat
I think
bubblegum
the most recent song was all in English, and that
I think so.
that just shows how that group has grown.
Very true. It's very impressive because it's very hard for groups outside of the U.S. to break into U.S. Especially girl groups and boy bands. It's very hard for them to break into the U.S. music scene. So it's very impressive what BTS has accomplished. So I definitely have a lot of respect for them for that.
They didn't just break into the music scene; they exploded into the music
Yeah,
scene.
really, it's quite impressive, especially for a group whose first language isn't even English. Like to come in and just bust it open the way they have, really cool. But oh man, that's a whole nother. And also, I really appreciate. This is just a whole nother discussion, isn't it? How Eastern pop music has influenced views of masculinity. That's a whole nother thing. I think that BTS has opened BTS especially, but there are plenty of other really phenomenal Korean and Japanese male singers that are, maybe not the traditional Western view of what masculinity should be. They are a lot skinnier and they dye their hair. Sometimes they wear makeup. And
yeah, why can't we be?
They
why can't
dance. They love
Americans
to
be
dance.
cool like that?
I think, and that's a lot of Western culture in general. It's not just America. You see a lot of that in European cultures as well.
I know, but I wish people were far more chill and cool.
I do too. Gender is such a wide spectrum of presentation, and
it is, and I hate it when people are like, "That's not what girls do. That's not what boys do."
I don't
act like more like a boy or more like a girl.
What's up, Muse?
Most times I've been told that stuff.
Yeah, Muse.
Shiota, do you have anything else you want to say about?
Yeah, do you have anything else you want to add?
Way off topic.
I apologize.
The moderators went off topic.
I'm sorry. It opened up a lot of really great discussion is all. Did you want to add anything else? Yeah.
Both the moderators.
If you want me to switch to the West Coast, I will, because I do have a few that
you absolutely do not have to.
No, this is favorite music. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
It doesn't have to be Western group. I just think it's good that we're talking about it because I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, like most of the songs I listen to, like the singer sounds like, I don't know, like young, like they sound, at least the singing voice does sound like really young, like young and energetic is how I would describe it.
Yeah, that's fair. I could understand the appeal. I understand the appeal for sure. And it's a lot of that you do see Western influence, obviously, in that kind of pop culture over there, because boy bands are obviously very early 2000s. I'm convinced that the American early 2000s was just a fever dream or a government experiment. Like, I don't know what was going on. Everybody was wearing... It was like a competition to see how low your pants could go.
Everyone was wearing those peace sign shirts.
Yes, everyone... Britney Spears' atrocious denim getup that she wore next to Justin Timberlake.
Let's not remember that.
I'm sorry, no, that was like the peak of just white people nonsense. So that was
that made me wonder what was wrong with white people.
Specifically Western,
things like that.
especially like American white people just.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, going back to the topic of like just Eastern music and Eastern, especially Eastern Asian male pop stars. I think it's really great to see that so many people are just like, oh my god, these guys are so hot, and like they're not, maybe, like I said, they're not traditionally masculine men, and Asian men in particular have a history of, and I'm sure Shiota, you can comment on this a lot better than I can.
I noticed Shiota perk up at that.
Yeah, Asian men have a history of being feminized by our culture. They don't treat them like, and Asian people in general. I took a gender studies class last year that we talked a lot about how race relates, how race relates to gender expectations and how we often force masculinized ideals on Black cultures and we feminize ideals against Asian cultures. It's if like white is the standard, and then we just measure everybody up to that. It's quite silly.
I almost said
yeah,
something, and then I remembered
But
that
Shioda, I think
PG.
Shioda, yeah.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to body structure, I wish I had that body type, because honestly, like, have you seen me? I'm kind of on the pushy side.
Fine. Dude, you're
Well,
huggable.
you know what they say, you are your own worst critic. And
Very
You
true.
it
are
rings
huggable.
very
That's
true.
what you are.
You're a great guy. We love
You
you.
are an amazing friend, and we can give you big hugs. That's all I care about.
Oh yeah, I don't look like that. I mean, they're the guys there in those groups are in fantastic shape because they dance very
Also, they're
intensely. The
hopping
dancing
around,
is very
yeah.
intense. Can I just say that the dancing for Eastern pop groups is really intense and like way more intense than almost any of the dancing we see in American pop groups.
Americans have
like,
a habit of just standing still and then maybe moving back and forth on the stage. These guys hop
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, like the choreography is very intense, and there are really great. Beyonce and we see other pop singers have. Normani is a great dancer. We see a lot of great dancers in our music. It's just not the level of intensity in group choreography. Completely different level over there. Really. Ugh. Do you have any other groups you want to talk about, Shioda? I'm really right now.
Let me look through my infinite playlist here. Like I literally just reached 1,000 songs on here, so give me a sec.
Oh boy. Dude, I have to limit myself. I'm like, if
I know.
when I look at the song name, don't remember the whole song or don't remember specific things about the song.
But honestly, I just pick out the songs that I like. And if there's like the rare occasion when I do like a particular group, I will like listen to the albums they have on available, then just like kind of pick them out, or like if I like in the rare instance I like the most like majority songs, I just like kind of add all of them to the list and just kind of go about my day. Let's see.
There's a song I've been listening to.
Yeah, while Shioda's searching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah, go
Wolf,
ahead.
I'm going to see if you perk up to it.
You can't play
Mirror,
songs
Mirror.
right now.
No. I'm just going to say the title. Mirror, Mirror. Oh, come on.
It sounds familiar.
Ruby.
Oh.
Thank you.
It took him a minute.
Hey,
you could see the moment. By the way, viewers, you could see the moment it hit me because my entire face just went like,
yo,
yeah.
Hey, anybody an Otofu fan? What's up?
She is such a good singer, by the way.
Sorry, I just got distracted. Otofu just went live on Twitch. Anybody an Otofu Dead by Daylight fan? What's up? All right, moving on. Shioda, are you ready to go with this next one? We're probably gonna wrap it up after this next group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know.
Have you done 3? We got a little bit off topic talking about Eastern culture.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Eastern
to be
culture.
To be fair, I mean, 3
a little excited.
3 out of, yeah. To be fair, 3 out of the 4 people here will all focus on Western while I'm over here, and they're way on the other side of the ocean.
That's great though. It's great to be talking about like other forms of music, and especially talking about how different cultures intersect. I think music is
universal language.
It's a universal language, first of all. It's influenced by culture and politics and all those other things.
Yeah.
So I think it's so important to discuss how they intersect.
It brings people together. unite stuff.
Yeah, I think people don't take time to realize how big of a influence both Eastern and Western hemispheres are on each other. Like, in my playlist, I have like Emily and Muse. I think you're gonna pop up to the other one. Nate Wants to Battle.
Alien and
There
Muse,
we go.
love that. Both of them.
Oh,
love
yeah.
them.
Yeah, like they do a lot of they do a lot of like covers of like Eastern animation
Mm-hmm.
I've
openings
heard it.
and they
Yeah, I've heard his music because we
Hey.
were driving somewhere once and I had it on a playlist for us.
Yeah, I got into him because of.
because he look hot.
That too. Okay, don't.
I mean, okay, for me, a friend of ours introduced him to me in I want to say freshman year of high school, and I was like, all right, and I then told I want to say junior year I started to really get into him. Plus, he's Korean and he's super attractive, so that may have also played a factor in that.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that like it's interesting to think about how like I can think of almost no American artists in the mainstream that are Asian. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
I can name 3 that I think of. Look at Joji, Hayley Kiyoko, and then Rina Sawayama, who's alternative. Also, if you don't know who Rina Sawayama is, please look her up right now if you're listening to this. She's amazing.
Whoever's house is burning down, or if you're getting murdered somewhere, something, can you please have that happen somewhere else? As lovely as hearing fire sirens, fire truck sirens are.
Why is that a lovely sound?
I'm pretty sure he was being sarcastic.
Dear. As lovely as it is hearing, I thought living in an apartment off campus would save me from having to hear that, and I forgot my apartment is right down the road from the fire department.
I mean, Wolf, I sent you. I remember when we both found out that we both had an interest in Firefox. I sent you the link to Nate's cover of Inferno.
Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, do we have anything else to talk about, or should we go ahead and wrap up? Because we've been blabbering on for an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like if we
something we care about, like we just go on and on.
It was a good discussion. I think we opened up into. I feel like we always open up into avenues about all kinds of other stuff.
We have an issue of going off track.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just us.
I mean,
there is also a K-pop group called Super Junior that a friend of mine introduced me to. I only have like 4 songs of theirs. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Nope, 3 songs of theirs on my phone because like they're all right, but like I'm kind of selective with my music. Again, like I'm not too big on K-pop. I'm more of a J-pop person, but I do dabble in it every once in a while.
All right. What a great discussion about music and culture and all kinds of other stuff. Once again, guys, I always love coming on, guys.
There's always something new.
There's always something interesting to just talk about. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here and give you the outro. Thanks everybody so much for joining us. Tune in next week. What have we got in store next week?
Well, we'll find out next week.
We'll find out. We're still debating it. I'm working on the outline still, but
And yes, folks, we do have outlines for our podcast.
Don't judge. Yes, I do script. I do outline, but we don't really go with them. We just kind of use them.
We veer off.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
it's
just
more of a
take
way
the-
to make sure we
It's
can
kind
get
of
to the
like a
next thing.
suggestion thing. Yeah.
It's just something that can keep us moving more than anything.
Yeah, it's more like a here is a suggestion of what we need to at least talk about. If you want to veer off, you're gonna veer off.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Hope we catch you in the stream if this gets uploaded before the stream comes out on Friday. But
It should, but considering I'm spending a large chunk. Oh, I'm going back home tomorrow. So considering I'm spending a large chunk of my drive, because 3-day weekend, and I don't have class on Fridays, and my class tomorrow ends at 10:45, so I'm going home. See my dog.
Must be nice.
It is very nice. It's very nice. I'm sorry, but yes, it is very nice.
Okay, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining us, and please enjoy your lovely weekend, you beautiful people. Have a great one.
Bye.